Bitcoin is right now creating a massive head and shoulders pattern, and in this exact video I will talk about the stock market, about Ethereum, and the most important Bitcoin chart. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video. Can we smash it back by 400 likes? That will be absolutely incredible. With that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term for Bitcoin. And yes, once looking at Bitcoin right now here, it looks to be that we're creating a new consolidation phase, and on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin is expected to potentially have another move in the coming 24 to 48 hours, and potentially it's going to be over the course of the weekend once again, and hopefully it's going to be happening today, because once we create big moves over the weekends, we usually tend to see big CME gaps get created, just like we had last time around on this significant movement towards the upside, right? So we're looking for Bitcoin right now here, what is going to be happening next year, but on the forwardly time frame, we can clearly see we're creating a small little uptrend right here, but more importantly, the most important support is 27.2k. So also for my trade that I have opened and currently is still on approximately $600 of profits, my stop loss is also exactly on 27.2k, because yes, in my opinion, if we really fall below this level, there is a potential scenario where Bitcoin is going to be breaking even lower. So that is why I have got my stop loss over there, and if we really break this trend, I would definitely start to worry a little bit for Bitcoin. I mean, on the 12-hour time frame, you can clearly still see we have broken out of the symmetrical triangle, and we have right now been creating higher highs on the daily time frame and on the 12-hour time frame. So Bitcoin is really getting ready for potentially another gigantic move right here. But yeah, still there is just not a lot of happening, and I've been talking about this many times before, but this is in my opinion the most important way to how approach Bitcoin right now here. And just what we're looking at is a gigantic range here. So this is the range high and this is the range low here, and of course you can clearly see this was the previous range low of this region right here. So I will be looking at the 28.7k as the most important resistance to be breaking, and if we break above that level, then I would straight away expect that Bitcoin is going to go up to 31.5k, but as long as we're not doing so, I expect that Bitcoin is going to be bouncing between 27.3k and 28.7k. And of course, if we break below this critical support right here, I won't be surprised to once again see a move down here to potentially the range low. So that would be the bearish case. Bearish case is basically once we break below this level, and the bullish case is once we break above 28.6k. So that is what I'm currently looking at. That is just a simple way on how to approach Bitcoin and how to ultimately win on Bitcoin right now here, because this is just the most important range to be looking at. And I mean, in fact, we're trading in an uptrend, and in fact as well, the funding rates are currently negative, what means that there are more shorters in the market than longers, and that shorters are willing to be paying a premium to be in their position, and that is of course quite bullish if you would ask me here. So looking at the 4-day time frame, I mean, on the bigger perspective, I don't think Bitcoin is necessarily looking so bearish. Well, in fact, majority of the traders on Twitter are actually saying that Bitcoin is looking very bearish. I think really what we have to be doing right now is just wait a little bit here till we see a clear direction where Bitcoin is breaking towards, because we are right now creating this gigantic consolidation phase. We actually got once again rejected from this downward sloping resistance line, and yes, as time continues, we're going to come closer and closer potentially towards that apex, and once we break out of this pattern, this 95-week downtrend, or either we break below the 46-week uptrend, we could start to see a massive break happening for Bitcoin. But as long as we're trading within this pattern, I won't be surprised that we're just going to have some boring sideways consolidation. And I mean, still, Bitcoin has not really moved that much here. And yes, we're trading some small moves for Bitcoin right here. I mean, I did already locked in some profits, and my stop losses and profit as well. So I literally got no risk on riding this trade. The only risk I have is losing more profit potentially, but that is not a very big risk for me. But I'm willing to hold the trade open right here, because anyways, if we break below 27.2k, I think we're going to go lower. So if you're interested in trading yourself here, I mean, for me, I have got a trading strategy where I minimize my losses and maximize my profits. Make sure to have your own trading strategy. Make sure to follow me on the channel, because I give updates on Bitcoin every single day. And if you're interested in trading yourself, you can right now go to the link description of today's video, and if you sign up an account using the link below, deposit $100 within 7 days, complete KYC, you can claim a free $1,000 in Bitcoin or XRP, what is super valuable for only a $100 deposit. So make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, Bitcoin is actually creating a massive bull flag, and if this pattern is going to be breaking out here, Bitcoin actually got a price target somewhere around $50,000, what is quite epic in my opinion. So definitely important to be looking at this gigantic consolidation phase that we're currently having. And once Bitcoin really breaks above the $32,000 mark, we could be in for an absolute flyer. And I mean, still the most important resistance for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is $32,000, because you can clearly see this was in the previous bull market big support, and this is currently the resistance where we are getting rejected from every single time we retest it. And I mean, in fact, as well, Bitcoin is right now creating an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and potentially we are right now creating the right shoulder. And if we break this downtrend right here, that is the point where we could be really reverse the price action of Bitcoin. Of course, it's this massive trend right here where you can see a head and shoulders pattern in, but also you have to understand it's the same downward sloping resistance line of this one. And if we just break above this level, it would just mean that Bitcoin is probably going to see massive upside, since yes, then we are breaking above massive resistance. And for Ethereum, it's just exactly the same. Ethereum is also consolidating in this massive consolidation phase, and probably is just going to follow Bitcoin, so make sure to be paying attention towards that. And for the stock market, it's been going down more than 11% ever since here, 9%. And yeah, that is really dragging Bitcoin down also. Well, in fact, Bitcoin is actually still performing quite well here while the stock market is going down. But you have to understand that the US debt is growing massively, with approximately 50% of the Bitcoin total market cap, it grew in one day. So that's absolutely epic. The national debt is growing very quickly, and in this space, the US government could be defaulting, or either they have to do significant rate cuts or inject a lot of money in the system, what would only ultimately create more debt. So we're entering a debt spiral, and that is of course super bullish for Bitcoin, especially since the halving is only 198 days down. And yes, there is fixed inflation in Bitcoin. Inflation will only become lower. From next year, it's 1% inflation, and then 4 years after that, it's 0.5%, and 4 years after that, it's 0.25, etc., etc. So inflation is extremely low on Bitcoin, and that is why I think it's ultimately going to be succeeding. So that was it for me in today's update video. There's not a lot of stuff happening again here on the price section of Bitcoin. We just have to fill up our time, and of course, it's bear market, guys. As long as we survive this, we can make a ton of more money in the next bull run. So we have to just survive this bear market, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.